Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here going over my Talion after yesterday's bash at the BMX track. One thing I did notice is that the toe was way out on this side over here. I mean, you can see it now. I have the servo centered, and this one is just cocked way out to the side. So I was going to just fix it using the adjustable link here, but I said to myself that can't be right that it would just go out like that. I mean, nothing stripped. So I think I know what the issue is. I think the steering rack is bent. So I'm going to go and change that, and I figured I'd make a little video of that, while I do that and see if there's anything else broken while we're at it. So just sit back and let's have at it. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect this steering arm that connects the horn to the steering assembly. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the this tower-to-tower brace or brace, whatever you want to call it. So it's a 2.5 millimeter. Take this out. Ooh! Oh, look at that! It broke. There. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but there's breakage. That's number 2, if you want to call the shock rod end breakage number 1. Now I do have my voltage ones coming in the mail. Hopefully they show up today. So yeah, that's not good. Get this out. This is why I wanted to do a teardown, because looking at it yesterday, I was just so excited that it actually finished up the bash without stuff being obviously broken. Because those were some hard hits. Clear these out of there. Now I did say this thing was bone stock. I guess technically I lied, because I had an extra one of these Voltage Hobbies skid plates, and I had an extra RPM one that I'm running in the back, but I don't think that really counts. Now I don't have decent, these suck, these Dynamite hex drivers, but I do have good power drivers. So I kind of cheat, and when I want to do something by hand, I just do this, and it actually works out good, because you get a ton of leverage with this. They weren't too bad. All right. And as suspected, that bad boy is bent. You can see how bowed it is. So I'm going to pull this off. I already replaced the bushings in here with bearings. When I did replaced all the bearings with the rubber shielded fast eddies. All right. So, oops. So yeah, that's not supposed to be like that, guys. I could just hammer it flat, but this is weakened already. I changed these in every one of my rigs, so I have 3 brand new ones, or lightly used ones, which I'm going to go grab. I got a bunch of these, so I'll pull one of these out. I'll go for the one that's never been used. This one looks like it was used. This one never saw the light of day. So there it is. All right, so let's go and change this real quick. We'll start. This thing sucks. This is by far my worst hex driver, man. It is just a piece of shit. Pardon my French, but it is. I've stripped out more of these 2 millimeter using that thing than any other of my hex drivers. Hey, put this one in there. Good. Oh, and I gotta get the bottom. See, this one isn't too bad. There we go. Now, I'm tempted to try to get this apart. This is the new servo saver, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out if this thing is adjustable or not. You can see how this is all marred up. I was trying to unscrew it, and you can't. You need to grab onto this and turn this, and there's no way. I mean, I don't have any extra of these floating around. Otherwise, I would just mangle it and get it apart and see what's going on. But it feels like they Loctited these two together. And if you look at the parts diagram, I mean, this bottom half screws into the top half. It doesn't look like, and I'm sure it's all the way up. I don't think it's not going in anymore. And if it did, it would change the whole height of this piece, which obviously wouldn't work. This rack would be sitting like this. If you screwed this in, it's going to get shorter, and it's going to get longer. So I think their answer, to everybody complaining about not being able to, keep their servo saver nut, tight on the old style, was just to make it non-adjustable, screw it together, Loctite the crap out of it, and there you go. This is what you get, So if you run bigger tires and this thing starts opening up, there's no way to adjust this. You would have to get it apart and then maybe add washers, or maybe you can get a stiffer spring. I have no idea, but I think this is not good. I've been called an Arrma fanboy because I do tend to pump their products because I love them, but this I gotta give them a big thumbs down on. I think it's a shitty design. There we go. So these are my damaged pieces, and that shock rod end from yesterday. And I got to go through the back of the truck. Now, looking at the rest of the front here, I mean, everything else looks fine. I mean, nothing loosened up. No broken arms. This is smooth as butter. You can see that, everything turning nicely. I don't see any broken mounts. That one's good. That's good. So I bet you I did this. If you go back and look at the video, maybe I'll put it in here. I think I came down once really hard on one of the tires when I was launching it off that berm at the end. And then in the first double I tried to pull, I went nose first straight in. That probably is what did this in, would be my guess. Oh, and I landed right on the friggin' nose. So, but the front end looks good. Front end looks good. So let's put this stuff aside. It looks a hair bowed, if you ask me. Let me roll it on something. Come on. Oh yeah, that's bowed. That is bowed for sure. Look at that. So, as suspected, this thing is more. I mean, I have to check the chassis. The chassis actually looks straight. So, maybe it saved me from bending the chassis, but this is definitely bent, and good luck trying to order this. I'm sure they're totally out of stock on these since they just came out and everybody and their grandmother's buying them up from Jenny's. So I might just try to bend this thing back as best I can. All right, this diffs feel good. Let's look for any broken mounts. This is good. This is good. I got to clean all this stuff up, which I will do before I put it all back together. But it looks straight. These look straight. I don't know, it really looks good. This isn't broken. I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell, and I can't really tell what angle you're getting, but it looks straight to me, man. Even the rear. So, maybe up in the front. I mean, it's supposed to bend a little. I mean, I'm not. It might be bent a little bit right here. I know it bends from here on up. It's got a little bit of a concave thing going on right there. So I might just, I don't know, I mean, I don't think it's really affecting anything. Maybe I'll hammer it flat. I don't know, but that's this is the aftermath of the bash from yesterday at the BMX track. So this definitely bent. This definitely broke. This is definitely bent, the new tower to tower. And I bet you're going to see a lot of this. It's just not strong enough. Really is what it comes down to. And the chassis might have a slight bend in the front. Over here. It's the rear. Still early for me. So, but everything else in the front end and the back end here looks good. So, I'm still impressed, you know, with the truck. I mean, I was sending this thing. I mean, that's the hardest that I will bash. I mean, I don't have ramps that can send it like that anyway. And I was landing it on a road. So, you know, most people are not going to be doing that. You know, if you're just running around in the backyard and whatnot. I mean, I really think, you know, your necessary upgrades here are definitely these chassis braces. Maybe that steering rack. I mean, you know, it is pretty flimsy. I mean, I always change it on mine, but you know, and really, you know, there isn't too much more. I mean, that you really need to do. You know, some people make it out to be like you have to dump, you know, $500 in parts, you know, aluminum parts in these to make them worthy, you know, of bashing them hard, that I've been reading from some people. And it's ridiculous. It's not. I mean, you know, the biggest issue I find with these is just, you know, learning how to drive. I mean, if I didn't plant this thing in, you know, nose first into the ground from 35 feet in the air, I'm sure I wouldn't have half these problems. I mean, that was my fault. You know, that's not the truck. If I had landed that thing on all fours, you know, we wouldn't be looking at this damage. So, you know, you got to think in those terms, you know. So, you know, is the truck tough? If you know how to drive, yeah, it'll do anything you want it to do. I mean, if you suck at driving or you make a mistake, you know, even people that are good make mistakes. If you make a mistake and you know, it's like take your car and drive it into a tree and you tell me what happens. Does that make your car weak? I mean, come on. So, you know, my overall impressions is that this is a decent truck. I mean, V3 versus V4. I mean, I'm not sold on the added value of the V4. I mean, I think they wanted to raise the price $50 and figured they'd throw a few things on it and then take away the radio and give you a lesser version of it. And probably at the end of the day, their cost is the same and they're getting $50 more out of us. But that's their right. I mean, these things have been at the $500 price point forever. So just don't think that this is going to save you from, you know, a really bad crash, because it's probably not. What will, though, is if you want to spend the $100 and something, is the M2C chassis, which I'm almost certain I'm going to get. I have them on my 3 other trucks. Why not get it on this? But I'm going to continue to run this for as long as I can, and then we'll go from there. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. And I will, you know, be out there soon once I get my stuff back together, get my voltage stuff on there, and we'll go send this some more. So I'll see you next time. Peace.